we're back with Dr. Rosanna Breaux, an assistant professor of psychology and director of the Child Study Center at Virginia Tech, helping us navigate the challenges our students are experiencing mentally since returning back to school and the role parents play in helping them. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Happy to be here.
So before the break, you were talking about how stressed out parents are, teachers are. What impact do we have on our children, that stress that we're feeling?
Yeah, so we know, and this is true, pre-pandemic, that parent emotion health, parent behaviors, parenting practices, as well as teachers' own stress levels, emotional well-being, have a huge impact on children's social emotional well-being. And this has been found as well during the COVID-19 pandemic. So this really just highlights the fact that parents' own emotional health, teachers' own emotional health needs to be a priority too. I always like to think about the air mask analogy on airplanes. You need to take care of your own emotional health first in order to take care of your children's social emotional health. And so really, this is things that seem so obvious in terms of making sure you're finding some me time each day, utilizing your coping skills, and having an adequate support system to help manage the many stressors you're experiencing. Although I recognize that that's much easier said than done. But when we're in a better place emotionally, we're able to respond in a more supportive and helpful way when our children are experiencing negative emotions and stressors themselves. And it also helps model appropriate emotion regulation strategies for our kids.
Excellent advice. This one hits close to home for me. What are we seeing when it comes to previously motivated children who seem to be less engaged now?
Yeah, so, I want to start off by just acknowledging, at least for this current school year, fall of 2021, we don't yet have peer-reviewed research on this, though I do expect us to start seeing some in the coming months. But what we do know from last school year is that students definitely are having less academic motivation, and that was particularly true during remote learning. And so you would expect some of that to carry over, that frustration, that lack of, routine and schedule, the disruptions to social interactions have all led to various reactions. And I think that's important to highlight, is that we're seeing a range of reactions and factors that might be contributing to motivation. Some of the things that we found that have predicted academic motivation are things like parental support, so highlighting again the role of parents, positive mood, so highlighting again the importance of taking care of our emotional well-being. Whereas we found that kids who are having higher levels of conflict with their friends have less academic motivation. This is definitely something we've seen clinically, where kids are getting upset because their friends either aren't complying with wearing masks or are questioning the severity of the pandemic. And that has really led to a lot of anxiety and stress, and even school refusal and kids not wanting to go because of concerns about safety.
Wow. What else could we as parents be on the lookout for? Any symptoms or signs beyond, let's say, bad grades? What are things that we should be looking for as parents?
Yeah, I think a really important thing there is trying to understand what the underlying cause is for the lack of motivation. And this could differ for some children. It could be lack of confidence in their academic abilities because of this disruption in learning. For others, it's, as I was saying, kind of the anxiety around safety or mask wearing. For some, it's actually the stress of being back in in-person social interactions. And so the refusal is more about this social anxiety or, there's definitely been some increases that we've seen now with the return to school and bullying. And so just trying to understand where that's coming from. If you're seeing really severe kind of withdrawal, lack of motivation, school refusal, that might be a good sign that it's time to get some outside support rather than trying to just tackle it on your own.
And maybe perhaps seeking help from your school counselors would be a good resource.
Yeah, I think now more than ever, the importance of communication with teachers and counselors is critical. We don't want to wait, as you said, until the marking period's over to see poor grades. If we're noticing things, asking, seeing if the teachers have similar concerns, or sharing strategies that you found that have been helpful during the pandemic to see if there's things that they can do if it seems like it's mostly when the child's at school.
Well, this has been such an important topic for us to tackle. So many households are experiencing this, so we're appreciative and grateful for your advice and expertise that you've shared with us to help us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the biggest shopping day of the year is this week, and we're going to find out what deals are the real deal and what we should pass by after the break.